Now, writing wasn't always on the cards for our next guest, yet in the course of her career, she's become one of Ireland's most loved authors, having published an outstanding 16 novels.
So is there anything she can't do? Award-winning novelist Deirdre Purcell joins us now to chat about her road to writing and her brand new book, Grace in Winter. Good morning, Deirdre.
Hi, Deirdre.
Now, I said, is there anything she can't? I'm going to read this out because I think people
don't embarrass me.
Oh, go on.
God, I won't embarrass you, but I'll do my best. Deirdre's had more careers than most people. Civil servant, Aer Lingus employee, Abbey actor, news anchor, print journalist, biographer, ghostwriter and novelist. And I read that out and you said, yeah, but you left a few things out. Go on, what else was there?
Cocktail waitress.
Oh, good luck.
Travel agent.
Right.
Dinner theatre organiser.
Wow.
So safe to say that Anna was right, that the road to being a novelist wasn't set out from the start.
The thing about that is that everything, as any novelist will tell you, everything that you do contributes to everything else.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You will draw from all of those experiences and careers.
Absolutely.
For your incredible stories.
Yeah, journalism, by definition. Well, first of all, acting actually really, really contributes to novels because what you're doing is the same thing. You are accepted, you're writing it down. You're inhabiting another character. They're not your words, they're the playwright's words and the director's way of interpreting it. But you get to interpret it as well.
Yeah, you do.
And you're using your own experiences and your own emotions and everything.
You're bringing your own stuff to the table as well.
Yeah, well, you know that.
And I do, and acting was something that you not just dabbled in because, you know, you were working in Aer Lingus.
Yeah.
And you joined the Musical Society in Aer Lingus. You were doing
best time of my life.
great crack.
Brilliant, yeah.
But then you went to the Abbey.
I did.
And you went for an audition.
I did.
And 30 minutes
That's
after.
a very old story now, God.
But you toured with the Abbey.
Yeah,
you know.
I did. And I had 24 hours to make up my mind. I was in Aer Lingus enjoying myself thoroughly.
I'd say so.
And
At a time where it was very glamorous to be doing that job, wasn't it?
I wasn't flying now. I was in a very enjoyable job on the ground.
Yes.
And then I had the kind of, I suppose, the joy of being in the semi-theatre. I'd never wanted to be an actress, but the people were terribly interesting and very, very talented. And so I loved being with them and I loved doing the plays. But Aer Lingus was actually, at the time, it was a start-up. And I love being in start-ups. Everybody wants to make this the best in the world.
Yeah.
And there was huge energy, and we were all very young. So it was really wonderful. But then got into the Abbey. I had 24 hours to make up my mind. And because I had to start in a play the following Monday, this was a Wednesday.
My God.
Rehearse it, learn it, and go on stage for the first time in my life professionally on the Monday. And what actually swung it for me was my father, who was a very conservative civil servant. When I went home to kind of, what'll I do? He said, if I'd had that opportunity at your age, I would have taken it.
Well, there you go.
There's your answer.
Yeah.
That was the seal of approval.
Yeah, but acting does feed into writing. There's no doubt about it. Writing fiction.
Of course it does.
You know.
Can we ask you, just for the week that's in it, Deirdre, it's been a sad week for Irish broadcasting, but it's been a sad week for the country with the passing of an icon in Gay Byrne. You wrote The Time of My Life.
Well, he would say he wrote it. I ghosted it, which is a different thing.
Of course,
you know.
yes.
So, but I did it over 2 years, and it was a long 2 years. But my job, as far as I knew, was to, or as far as I decided, was to write it in Gay's voice. And we all knew Gay's voice from the radio and television, and I hadn't met Gay before. But when I started it, I was kind of writing in the cliche stuff he used to do.
Yeah.
And then as I got to know him better, I was able to write in his real voice, which wasn't that different from what you saw on radio and television.
Must have been incredible spending time with him, though, and delving into
his
story.
A lot of it was great. Yeah. But we had a little damp, horrible little annex place in which to write. We used to sit on the radiator.
Go away.
And he was always giving out about it and everything. But no, and we got to know each other very well.
And he wanted it to be perfect, of course, as he wanted everything to be.
Yeah, but I think that's why he chose me. I think he liked the way I was writing in the Sunday Tribune, and he liked that I used grammar.
Yes, and you used it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Let's talk about your new book before we run out of time. Grace in Winter. Tell us about Grace and who she is.
Grace is a 55-year-old mother who has 3 grown-up daughters, one of whom is 22 and very difficult, kind of mentally ill, but nobody has diagnosed her. She's difficult, very difficult, and quite aggressive and destructive. And her husband has left her. She's divorced. The other 2 girls, women, are settled. They're both in their own careers and marriages and things like that. And she's left on her own for 7.5 years as the novel opens. And she's kind of getting a bit resentful about it and a bit upset that she's handling this entirely on her own. That's how it starts. And her husband offers herself and her daughter, kind of get them to get them off the scene for something. And he offers them a cruise. And they go on a cruise and things happen.
Bam, bam, bam.
In a way only Deirdre Purcell can create.
Thank you.
In terms of your process, Deirdre, what's your typical process when it comes to approaching a new book, a new novel, a new project?
All of my novels start with an image. You know, something that I've seen, usually.
Is that a person?
Can be a person, it can be just a scene, it can be somebody acting oddly. I spoke to a policeman once who said, what creates expectation and curiosity is something that doesn't fit.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point.
Yeah, so if you see something that doesn't fit...
It stands out.
Or hear something that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
If somebody says something unusual and it was Jennifer Johnson, the novelist, who said at one point, if you see or hear something or start thinking about something or are intrigued by something, and it doesn't go away, it's like sandpaper on the inside of your brain. Yeah. And it doesn't go away, that's a novel.
Yeah, that's a brilliant description, actually, isn't
it? And this person or place or thing that you see could be an image that just triggers something? Or...
All novelists will tell you that the what if is the big thing.
Of course, yeah.
What if? So you start with this one image or this one phrase. In my case, it was a destructive scene.
Yeah.
And why is she doing that? Who's looking after her? What if this person who's looking after her is fed up looking after her? What if that woman has been abandoned? You know, and it goes and it goes.
Yeah.
It's like...
And it grows.
It's like an octopus sending out its tentacles.
Yeah, brilliant.
I could talk to you all day.
Absolutely. You're an extraordinary talent. Grace in Winter is the new book. And it's out now?
Yeah, it's out now.
Brilliant.
It's been a pleasure meeting you. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks,
really appreciate it.
Thank you, Deirdre.
Thank you.